This is the class on the continuation of subject-verb agreement. In this class, I will discuss the rules of using the verb according to the person and number of the subject. You have already been learning about the rules of using subject-verb agreement. And now, in this class, I will discuss more rules. Now, listen to my class today. And here, I have already discussed some rules, and here, this is the rule number 6. Here, some nouns which are singular in form but plural in meaning. Then, the noun take a plural verb. That is, you will have to use a plural verb when you will see when some nouns which are used in the singular in form but plural in meaning. Nouns singular in form but plural in meaning. Then the verb will be used in the plural sense. That is, you will have to use the verb as the plural. That is, here I have told you that when you will see some nouns which will be used in the singular form, that is, which will be used singular in form but plural in meaning, then you will have to use a plural verb. Now see the rule. Example number 1. According to the present market rate, according to the present market rate, 12 dozen cost 100 rupees. 100 rupees. Now see, here I have used 12 dozen. Here, this is the noun used in the singular form but plural in meaning. So the verb is used in the plural sense. And in another rule, number 7. Some nouns which are plural in form but singular in meaning take a singular verb. That is, nouns which are plural in form. When you will see some nouns which are plural in form, singular in meaning, plural in form and singular in meaning, then you will have to use the singular verb. That is, when you will see such type of nouns are used in the plural form but they are singular in meaning, then the subject must take a singular verb. That is, the verb will be used in the singular form. singular. Now see the example. Example number 1. Suppose the news is true. Here the news, though it is plural in form but singular in meaning, so it will take the singular verb. Is the singular verb. And now in another example, mathematics is nothing but a music. music. Mathematics is nothing but a music. Mathematics is the plural in form but singular in meaning, so it takes the singular verb. And in this way you will have to give the example. Now in another example, the wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death. Here in this example you will see that here the nouns used in the plural sense, plural in form, but it expresses the singular meaning. So here the verb is used as the singular form. In another example you will see. Suppose politics was with him. The business, business, business of his life. Politics was with him, the business of his life. Here politics is used in the plural form, but it is used in the singular in meaning. So the verb is used here as the singular form. So students, you have seen that such type of nouns used in the plural form, but they express singular meaning. So you will have to use the singular verb. And now in another rule, number 8. When a plural noun comes between a singular subject, when a plural noun comes between a singular subject and its verb, plural noun comes in between a singular subject and its verbs. When a plural noun comes in between a singular subject and its verbs, what will happen? You will see. Sometimes the verb is often wrongly made to agree with the nearest plural noun instead of with the real subject. It is very interesting to note that here the verb will be used according to the real subject, but sometimes it is seen that students often make mistakes taking the nearest subject with the verb. That is, here the plural noun comes in between the singular subject and its verb. What type of verb or which type of verb will be used? Here you will have to use the singular verb. That is, in the example you will see, clearly understand also. Suppose example number 1. Suppose each of the sisters is CLEVER. Each of the sisters is clever. Here each sisters is clever. I have told you in the rule that when the plural noun comes in between the singular subject and its verb. Here plural noun sisters, plural noun comes in between the singular subject and its verb. That is here is the verb. Comes in between the singular subject and its verb. Plural noun is between the singular subject and the verb. Then what will happen? Sometimes students make mistakes using the nearest subjects to the verb. But here the verb will be used in the singular form. So in this way you will have to make your idea clear that here the verb will be used according to the real subject. So in my expression about the rule that when a plural noun comes in between a singular subject and its verb, then the verb is often wrongly made to agree with the nearest plural noun instead of with the real subject. That is real noun, real form, real subject. So in the example, if you follow that, you will make a clear idea. Here this is the first example. In this example, you have already made your idea clear. And in the second example, suppose in the second example, you will see each of the boys was given a prize. Each of the boys was given a prize. Here in this example, you will see that here each of the boys is the noun. Here plural nouns comes in between the singular subject and the verb. And here it is used as a singular verb. Here you will not take the verb as the plural form according to the plural noun, because here it will be used according to the real subject. Each of the boys, here each will be used in the singular sense. So in this way you will have to make your idea clear. Next, in the another example, suppose neither of the boys was tall. Neither of the boys was tall. Here in this sentence, you will see that neither of the boys. Here neither is the word which is used at the beginning of the sentence, used as a singular subject. And here boys is used as the plural noun, but the verb is used as the singular form. So students, you have seen that though there is the plural verb just before the though there is the plural noun just before the subject, you will not take the verb as the plural, because it will be used according to the real subject. Neither of the boys was tall. Suppose in another example, each of these SUBS, each of these substances is found, FOUND, is found in India. Each of these substances is found in India. Here in this example, you will see that each of these substances is used here as the plural noun, but here the plural noun comes in between the singular subject and the verb. Here this is the verb. Here the verb is used in the singular form. Now in another example, suppose a variety, a variety of pleasing object, a variety of pleasing, pleasing objects, objects, a variety of pleasing objects. Now see, a variety of pleasing objects. Here objects used as the plural noun, and here there is the singular subject. A variety of pleasing objects. Charms, charms, charms the eye. Here the verb used as the singular form. Suppose in another example, you will see. The quality of the mangoes. The quality of the mangoes was not good. The qualities of the mangoes was not good. Here in this sentence you will see the quality of the mangoes. Mangoes is the plural noun, but here it comes in between the singular subject and the verb. Here, though there is the plural noun just before the verb, here you cannot use the verb as were. Here the quality is the real subject. The quality of the mangoes was not good. Here the verb will be used in the singular sense. Now, in this way, you will have to give several examples in order to make your idea clear about the using of plural nouns just in between the singular subject and the verb. Now, the rule number 9. Words joined to a singular subject by, with, together with, in addition to, as well as, etc. are parenthetical. It is very interesting to note. There are some words which are joined to a singular subject by, with, together with, in addition to, as well as, etc. Words joined, joined, joined to a singular subject. Singular subject. Words joined to a singular subject by, with, in addition to, together with, as well as, etc. With, together with, in addition to, as well as, etc. With, together with, in addition to, as well as, etc. I have discussed that whenever you will see that some words joined to a singular subject by, with, together with, in addition to, as well as, etc. are parenthetical. Parenthetical. P-A-R-E-N-T-H-E, parenthetical. And here, they do not affect the verbs. If these are the words joined to a singular subjects, are parenthetical. and therefore they do not affect the number of the verb, and therefore they do not affect the verb. AFFEC, affect the verb. They do not affect the verb. In the rule, I have said that whenever you will see some words joined to a singular subject by, with, together with, in addition to it, as well as, etc., are parenthetical, and they do not affect the number of the verb. Affect the verb means number of the verb. Affect the number of the verb. Number of the verb. Now see the example. Suppose the chief with all his men, was massacred. MASSACRED. The chief with all his men was massacred. Here in this example you see the chief. This is the singular subject. With all his men. Here with all his men is parenthetical. And here whenever you will see such type of words joined to a singular subject, they do not affect the verb. And here the verb will be used according to the real subject. Here the real subject is used as the chief. The chief is the real subject. So the verb is used here as the singular one. And in another example you will see, suppose the governor with his AIDEAD camps, camps. The governor with his 8 camps has arrived. Here the governor with his 8 camps has arrived. Here with his 8 camps, this is used as the parenthetical, because here with is used with his words. With his 8 camps is joined to a singular subject, the governor. The words just after the subject joined by with, then they do not affect the verb. So the verb is used here as the singular verb. In another example you will see. Suppose justice as well as mercy. Justice as well as mercy allows it. ALLOWS, allows it. Here justice as well as mercy. As well as mercy. Here this is parenthetical. But here justice is used as the singular noun or singular subject. Here as well as is used. As well as mercy is used in order to join justice. But they do not affect the verb. So the verb is used here according to the number of the subject. Here justice is used as the singular subject, so the singular verb is used in this way. Now in another way, in another example. See. Suppose Ram as well as Sam Ram as well as Sam deserves, D-E-S-E-R-V-E-S, deserves the praise, P-R-A-I-S-E. Ram as well as Sam deserves the praise. Here as well as, Ram as well as Sam, though these are the words connected by as well as. Sam is the word connected by as well as to a singular subject. Here Ram is the singular subject, though there is the use of as well as Sam. Here as well as connects Sam joined to the singular subject. Here they do not affect the verb. Though these are the words just after the singular subject, they do not affect the verb. Here the verb is used in the singular sense according to the person and number of the subject. Here this is the singular subject, and so the verb is used in the singular sense. In this way, you will have to give the example. Suppose, in another example, Ram and not you. Ram and not you has won the prize. Ram and not you. Here and not you. Ram is there as used as the singular subject. Ram and not you has won the prize. Here in this sentence there is the use of and not. In order to connect you, joined to a singular subject. Here and not you is used as parenthetical and they do not affect the verb, so the verb is used in the singular form. In this way, you will have to make your idea clear. Suppose in rule number 10, I will discuss to you in rule number 10 that when the verb to be takes the same case after it, you will have to take care of using the verb before it. Now see, that is, I will have to say that the verb to be takes the same case. The verb to be takes the same case. Takes the same case. The verb to be takes the same case. As it before. After it. The verb to be takes the same case after it, as before it. After it, as before it. As. Here, in the example, if I give the example that from the Bible, from the Bible, if I give the example in this way, suppose he said unto him, he said unto them, it is I, be not afraid, A-F-R-A-I-D. From the Bible, I have taken the example. Be not afraid. He said unto them, it is I, be not afraid. Here now see, this is the point of discussion. That is, the verb to be takes the same case as it before. The verb to be takes the same case after it as before it. Here it is I, be not afraid. Here be is used in the same case. In this way, here it is the example of taken from the Bible, Bible, Bible. Now, in the rule number 11, when the subject of the verb is a relative pronoun, care should be taken to see that the verb agrees in number and person with the antecedent of the relative. That is, subject of the verb is a relative pronoun. When you will see a subject is used as a relative pronoun, a subject is used as a relative pronoun, subject used as a relative pronoun, then care should be taken to use the verb. That is, the verb then will be used in number and person of the antecedent. That is, in number and person with the antecedent. Then the verb will be used with the number and person of the antecedent. Number and person of the antecedent. When the subject is a relative pronoun, then you will have to use the verbs according to the number and person of the antecedent. That is, in the example you will see clearly that suppose in the example you will see number 1, I, who am your friend, will guard your interests. I, who am your friend, will guard your interests. Here in this sentence you will see I is the relative pronoun. I is the subject, and here I is the pronoun, but here who is the relative pronoun? I have discussed to you that when the subject is a relative pronoun, here who is the relative pronoun? It refers to I. Here I is used as the antecedent. I is the antecedent. Here I is used as the antecedent. And who is the relative pronoun? So you will have to take care about using the verbs. Here am is there. Who is, not is. Here who am is used. Here am is used according to the antecedent. Whenever you will see, when the subject is a relative pronoun, then the verb will be used according to the person and number of the subject. That is the antecedent. Here I is the antecedent. I, who am your friend, I will guard your your interest. This is the principal clause. And who am your friend, this is called relative clause. And here in the relative clause there must be antecedent. Here I is the antecedent, and who is the relative pronoun? It refers to the antecedent I. Here it is the pronoun. So in this way you will have to use the verb according to the person and number of the subject. Now in another example, you who are my friend. You who are my friend should not worry me. You who are my friend should not worry me. Here now see. Here you should not worry me. This is called principal clause. And who are my friend? This is called relative clause. Here who is the relative pronoun? Who is the relative pronoun? And this refers to you. You is the pronoun. And antecedent is the noun or pronoun to who is the relative pronoun or relative adverb refers. Here whenever you will see such type of relative pronoun refers to the pronoun, then you will be termed as an antecedent. And so here in this sentence you will have to take care of using the verb. Here according to the person and number of the subject you will have to use the verb. Are will be used. Here you are, who are. Here you who are my friend, not who is my friend. Who are my friend should guard my should not worry me. Here in this way you will have to clear your idea. Next in another example. Suppose in another example, he who is my friend, who is my friend should stand by me. He who is my friend. Here he should stand by me. This is the principal clause. Who is my friend? This is the relative clause. Here who is the relative pronoun? This is the relative pronoun. This relative pronoun refers to he. Here he is the pronoun. So he is used as the antecedent. Antecedent. And here you will have to take care of using the verb here. Now in the relative clause you will have to take care of using the verb. Here is used because here he is used in the third person singular number. So according to the person and number of the subject you will have to use the verb is. He who is my friend, not who are or who am my friend. Here in this way you will have to use the verb. Next in another example. Suppose she is one of the best mothers. She is one of the best mothers that have ever lived. She is one of the best mothers that have ever lived. Here now see, she is one of the best mothers that have ever lived. That is the relative pronoun. Relative pronoun. This relative pronoun refers to mothers. She is one of the best mothers that have ever lived. Here mothers is the noun word. Here this is used as the antecedent. Antecedent. Here the verb will be used. That have ever lived. Here have is used according to the person and number of the antecedent. Here as mothers is used as the plural noun, then you will have to use the plural verb. She is one of the best mothers that have ever lived. Here this is the antecedent. As the antecedent is used in the plural number, here the plural verb will be used. In this way you have learned so many examples and rules to use the verb according to the person and number of the subject. And so, students, you have learned in my several classes how to use a verb according to the person and number of the subject. That is, the total learning of subject-verb agreement is complete, I hope. Thank you.